Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft video. In today's video I'm going to give you some tips on how to improve your castle building. And this is for my Discord server competition. The build battle theme for this month is medieval building. And I know not all medieval building is just about castles, but I figure since that's the most common assumption, I'm just going to give some tips on castle building and give you some tips on how you can change from something like this to something more like this. Alright, let's jump right into it. Alright, so guys, in today's video I am mostly going to go over the three things: block palette, scale, and detailing. These are very important elements to castle building. While the two most important, I'll cover a couple other aspects, but that's what I'll be focusing on. And this video will be a little bit lower quality than it could be, just because I've been so busy with schoolwork and stuff. So I'm really happy that I was able to get this out after all. So first we're going to start off with one of the harder parts of castle building. It has the wall. Building a wall seems simple enough, but getting it to look just right can be really tricky. So here I've just built up the foundation of what someone might build. It's just a pretty flat stone wall with some merlons on top. I think that's how you pronounce them. And then it's indented back a little bit to give some more depth. So this is like your blank canvas for castle wall. This would only be useful if you're building like a mini game or something. You want to add something else, change up the block design a little bit. Stone blocks are the go-to block for me when building castles. I'm sure they are for most people. But today I'm going to show you how you can add some more variety to that and get it a bit textured, make it look nicer. So then we're going to head to two different takes on how you could play this. The first take is to make it look pretty, as if it's a finished castle, almost like it was just built and it's in its prime state. So here you can see we have a lot of details, everything's looking very nice. There are no signs of deterioration or a ruined build at all. So here are some steps on detailing that may help you. First thing is you're going to want to make sure you include a bunch of depth, but do it gradually. You can see how any jumps I have in depth are no more than one block at a time. Even if it's only for like 4 pixels, I never go more than 2 blocks indented at a time. And also, sometimes, even the smallest and thinnest bits of depth help out a lot. Like these trapdoors and ladders here. Ladders don't do much, but the trapdoors are very thin, but they really bring the build out a lot. So next I want to get into block design for this. Obviously we have the standard stone bricks that you can see dotted throughout. But also we have the chiseled stone bricks. And you can see I've dotted these around in the like main pillar supports. And the thing about these, there's only one rule I'm going to tell you, never place them next to each other. Because it's such a square shape and it's so boxy, putting multiple of those together can just look it just doesn't look that good, because it looks like tiling and it's just not that pretty, especially with the spiral pattern in there. So just do like one at a time. And something else you could even do is like place buttons on them, just to give also another tiny edge of depth. And then another variation of the standard stone brick is stairs and slabs. So you can use these to create depth and make more complex shapes within your depth. And these really add a lot to your build. And for slabs in particular, you can exchange them with stone slabs. I know there are smooth stone stairs too, I believe, but I am not playing on that version of the game. I'm only on 1.13. But you can use smooth stone slabs to just make it pop out a little bit and just add some more variety, you know, from the standard gray that you always see. And then, fences and cobblestone pillars, or any pillars really, just they add a vertical element in there, and those really add support to the build. So that's where you could create the vertical structure, slabs and stairs, more for horizontal building. As you can see, this like channeling pattern here. And so the main thing I can say with here is repetition. You're going to find a pattern, as you can see here, and then you can just copy this over if you're rolled at it, or just place it in my hand, so all your walls can look uniform. Because if you're going to make it look in pristine condition, you're going to want to make it look like a repeated pattern the whole way, make it uniform. And then now moving on to the other take that you could do is a more ruined build. And so we have these ruins here. It looks very deteriorated and old. It's broken down, weathered, however you want to call it. And there are some pretty simple techniques that you can do. So first is in the standard block variety. So once again we have standard stone bricks, but we have also mixed in mossy stone bricks and also cracked stone bricks. And these just add some variety in it. It looks a lot like the Stronghold, in the vanilla Stronghold that we see, because we have these blocks in here. I know there are a couple other variations of these blocks, but just these three for ruin builds is the best. Try not to use the chiseled stone bricks, because those are too perfect, I guess, for a ruined build. And then, one of the coolest techniques I've seen used is just add like little bits of stone have been broken off due to weathering and such. And so we have these like cracks, these physical cracks in the walls. And that is due to just placing stone brick stairs in. So I'll just show you some stone brick stairs, and we're going to take, say, this block. We're going to break it, place stone brick stairs, and boom, that little gap in the stair block is perfect for making it look like there's an actual crack in the wall. And a couple other details you could do is just add some cobwebs to make it look dusty. Be careful, make sure you do not overuse cobwebs, especially on the exterior. And also, if you, like over here, you could see we had some wood in it. You can make it look like there was a wooden structure at some point holding up the wall, but now there's just bits and pieces of it all over. Most of it is broken off. And so those are the basic techniques of how you can drastically improve your wall building from just a flat stone surface to these beautiful works of art. And these are just the beginning. I'm not giving all of the tips that I could because I don't have much time. So just use these to build upon what you already know, and you can make something even better than these. Alright, so now on to something that's probably even harder than a wall, is towers. So you're going to want to have towers, or else you just have a box of some sort, or a rectangular prism thing of just walls. So you're going to have these circular towers in the corners of your castle. And I have a couple great tips with these. Just one thing to note, I kept the outside of it very simple. I just included some andesite on it to mix up the stone bricks. It almost looks like the stone carvings on it have worn away, and it's also got some cracks in it, so andesite is another block you can use to make it look weathered. And then I also added some just oak fences to show that it doesn't just have to be spruce. You can really use any wood on these. I didn't add a ton of detail because that's not the emphasis I'm going for. The main thing I'm going for is the shape of it, the scale, and also the roof. So the shape of it, you're going to want to make these circular. I did the best I could to make this a good circle. I think this is the exact you could do with this radius. But I'll put a link in the description down to a pixel circle generator, so you can make a perfect circle with however big you want it to be. And then next thing is scale. You want to make sure that this scale, like the height of your tower, is a good proportion to how big it is. So like this one, I would probably make this twice as tall considering how big it is if you wanted a big tower. These towers, because of the roof, these ones should be a little bit smaller. And that leads me onto the roof. So the roof, there are a couple options. First is you can have it's just triangular or like spiky, like a perfect cone shape, and that's what I went for here. Just mixed it up a little bit with some purple concrete powder as well as purple concrete. And then another way you could do it is you could make it like almost pillowed over so that it's got a little bit of a gentle curve on it. So it's not going to be a nice dome, but it's going to have this little bit of a gentle curve on it. And that can look really nice too. It just depends on what feel you're going for. If you're just doing a standalone tower by itself, I would recommend going with a very like huge roof. Make it very prominent because that's going to be a centerpiece of this. And also for the outside of here, for this like lip that goes around it, and make sure you make this like make it a block out of it at least. I forget what word I'm trying to use here. But just try to make it like pop out a bit so that you can tell that that's where the main tower ends and that's where the roof begins. And you can add the battlement style again on top with these. I didn't do the best here. It's not even symmetrical. But just add the battlements again. I think that's about all I have for these. So these are just some general tips and tricks for castle building. A couple other things I want to go over on this one. This castle is not perfect. Some of it should be a little bit taller, like the centerpiece and stuff, but a couple other things you'll want to note. Banners are very nice, but use them in moderation. I feel like I probably use them a little bit too much on this build, but banners can really help, because what banners do is it gives you a very nice color that you can use. I feel like for castles, you have your standard gray, maybe a little bit of brown with the wood, and then you want a very bright color on the roof or something, or a one single hue that you want to use throughout the build that really makes it look more colorful. And so this one I chose red. For that tower I chose purple. It's all up to you. And then we have some leaves down here. Now landscaping is very important. So some options you can do are just add some hedges around the outside. As I did here, that's one of the easiest ways to go. You can also add some custom trees. Just make sure if you do custom trees that they do not overshadow the castle. So if you have a castle that's like, say, where some of the edges of it are like 10 blocks high. I know this is more than 10 blocks. And then you have a tree that goes like 20 blocks high. It has these huge, wide branches off of it that span out for another 20 blocks. That's really gonna cast a shadow on the castle, and you want the castle to be the main feature that you want to showcase here. Yeah, I'm not very good at custom trees anyway, so that's why I didn't build any. So guys, if you want to join my Discord server, we're having another competition where you can send in photos of your builds, and then we will give you a little feedback on it if you want, and we'll also judge for the winners. And the winners, it has now been decided that the winners will get to take part in judging the next building competition, since they know what techniques they need to have in order to make a winning build. And it's going to get a little bit trickier as more people arrive, but the server is small right now, so come in, you'll have a chance of winning. The theme right now is medieval. You have until March 24th to enter it. So that's about 10-11 days away, so you still have time to make a very excellent castle. You could also make like a church, a dock with boats, an armory, log shed, whatever you want that's medieval themed. It doesn't have to be castle. Anyways, that has been all for this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!